Who can give you ideals.
Where you disgust me.
So you've discussed me. I'm a trust fund, baby. You can trust me.
Oh my god.
Hello, gals, blokes, and all other folks. My name is Mortius. This is one and only Casper Fox, and we are back with some more Hamilton. Now, in the real world, it's been about 3 weeks since we recorded this. You guys are theoretically getting this 1 week after, just because of the way the upload schedules work, but also just because of us recording in advance. The first episode hasn't actually come out yet. I always like to mention that if it is applicable, just in case a bunch of people in the comments are like, oh, you guys should do this instead. You guys should, like, this is the way you should, or oh, we want to see this. And then you're like, wow, they completely ignored everything we said. This is recorded exactly 1 week before the first episode goes up. We're hoping we can swing it so that our next recording takes place after that one goes up, but we're not. That might get a little squishy. We're going to have to see how all that goes. But for now, we are very, very excited because we are here for, I believe, the Story of Tonight. Yes, Story of Tonight and Schuyler Sisters.
I'm gone. Wait, it's so dark.
Oh no! Oh no!
Everything is dark.
What has happened?
Oh, that was scary, man.
Okay, I might have to
don't
pull
put
up
me
the
back.
schedule on my phone. Good to know that if I tab out to the other Discord and pull up the video schedule, that it messes that up. That is very good to know. All right, but yeah, do you have anything in particular you want to share? I know you've had a little bit. Have you, I know I mentioned in the last reaction that it would be good to kind of go back and listen to a few times because of how many motifs are established. Did you get a chance to do that?
I've listened not as much as I wanted to, but I have. Still a little on edge with most motifs. I'm really bad at identifying motifs. But, you know,
Luckily,
I'm
these
excited
ones
to
are
keep
not.
going.
These ones are more lyrical motifs, which are usually a lot easier to catch. Like I mentioned this in the first episode, so it's not like a huge spoiler, but they're just like Aaron Burr, sir, like that da 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 da, and the rhyming scheme going on there, and the da 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 format is something that's very recurring. So just things like that, not like instrumental motifs. We're not going to repeat the danger motif unless there's things I'm not aware of, which is very possible. Let us know in the comments.
Danger motif.
I know. We are here for... Nope. Oh my gosh, brain. We are here for Story of Tonight and Schuyler Sisters on my channel, which will be premiering straight over to Casper's for the 2 songs afterwards. So we are very, very excited for that. We're going to keep shuffling back and forth, not necessarily one song at a time, just because some Hamilton songs are very short. Like for my shot, that was its own video, but for this video and the next video, it's going to be 2 songs per. And if you join my Discord, I actually posted our whole planned schedule, although I realized I completely somehow didn't include Satisfied on the schedule, so I'm gonna have to fix that, obviously. But all of that to say, we are excited to get started. We are excited to bring you guys this content, and let's hop into the next 2 songs of Hamilton without any further ado.
Yes, Moana. Why'd I say that?
So you can kind of see that, like, the whoa, whoa, whoas carry over a little bit from, like, prior songs. It's that kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like, everything feels very interconnected, like, things like that. So it's not necessarily those subtle instrumental things like Epic, but, ooh, voice crack. Things that are much more forward.
Something I'm noticing, and it's because, remember, Epic is like maybe my second or third musical that I've actually watched all the way through or caught up to, so this will also be like one of the first ones. I'm noticing in this genre, it seems like there's a lot of call and response musically, right? This is what I'm kind of catching on to, at least both from Epic and from Hamilton here.
I would say it definitely depends on the show. There are some songs some shows I can think of that are a little bit less, but it's because, like, essentially call and response in a musical is usually just how dialogue works. Like there has to be some
Gotcha.
level of boom to boom to boom to boom, and for it to
yeah.
be music, like it's sometimes it's very distinctly call and response, but then sometimes it's just like if one character is speaking and then the other character has the next line of dialogue, that line kind of has to rhyme, and so it almost sounds
of
like
course.
call and response, but it's not really necessarily. It's just back and forth. But then sometimes like these woes, it is supposed to be like more of a drinking song where they're calling and responding. So it can be both, and I'm curious to see how you parse that out. But that's a good note.
I mean, also not just vocals, but also just music and vocals.
Oh,
like call
fair.
and response, and that's part. Like for example, in Horse and the Infant, there's a lot of call response between the instruments and vocals. Yeah, but cool.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I swear I pressed play. There we go.
I may not live to see our glory.
I may not live to see our glory.
Oh, wait. Pause. Where are my captions? Hold on.
Turn
Subtitles.
them on as well.
English.
Oh, mine are on. I'm stupid.
All right. I may not live to see our glory, in case,
Yeah.
Or, but you have the lyrics on, so.
Gladly join the fight.
And when our children tell our story,
And when our children tell our story,
they'll tell the story of tonight.
let's have another round tonight.
I love how I literally just talked about, like, I'm like, it's not always,
Yeah.
like, call and response, and then it was immediately
There you go.
actual call and
Listen-
response.
Dude, listen to these high-class, Titanic-like strings coming in here, like this really upper-class sound. Maybe it's because they're like thinking about, oh, now that we're going to be starting this revolution, we're going to be rid, we're going to be independent, and we're not going to be poor anymore. We're going to be rich now because we're going to be da-da-da. And then they're going to into the higher class with these strings here, you know?
Interesting. Let's have another round tonight.
Let's have another round tonight.
Let's have another round tonight.
Raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away, no matter what they tell you. Raise a glass to the four of us. Tomorrow there'll be more of us, telling the story of
We'll
tonight.
tell the story of tonight.
Raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away.
No matter what they tell you.
Let's have another round tonight. Raise a glass to the four of us.
Sorry, how about those harmonies?
Yeah.
I love the way
Those
they're
are lovely.
I love the way it's always those like it's just like let's have another, and then that one's just like another round
Yeah.
tonight with these like really
It
cool
is-
harmonies coming out of nowhere. I love that part.
Yeah, it's a really nice evolution because at the start of this they were not harmonizing; they were kind of like spoken word responding to this, right? Where it then builds into harmony. It almost sounded like Lynn had some like accidental subharmonics there for a second.
Oh, really?
In some like it can you just if I jump back here.
Let's see. Where are
'Cause
you
I
jumped
just-
to? We're having all kinds of difficulties. We're going to try and actually like really fix it between this song and the next, since the next song's obviously a little bit longer. But for the rest of this, we're just going to kind of let it play all the way through and then kind of talk about it afterwards with a little bit less pausing and definitely no going back. We're doing
Yeah.
our best to figure it out, guys. It's complex.
No matter what they tell you.
Let's have another round tonight.
And those harmonies being so good there.
Tomorrow there'll be more of us.
Telling the story of
Let's have another round tonight. Let's tell the story of tonight. Raise a glass to freedom.
They'll tell the story of tonight.
Raise a glass to freedom.
They'll tell the story of tonight. Tell the story of tonight.
There we go. That's it. Oh, hey.
Damn.
Hey,
Oh, that was-
stop it.
that's-
Stop it, Burr. It's not your time yet. All right.
That
so,
started tonight.
yeah, very, very short kind of song there. Like a lot of songs in Hamilton are kind of like interlude songs because
Okay,
of how much everything is sung through. And you might have noticed, like, the people in the background when they came in at the end there were also kind of changing the set.
Yeah.
So there are a
Yes.
lot of songs that serve as both like musical and thematic interludes, but also a chance for the set to actually change. Like this is very much like it was like this is my shot, this is Schuyler Sisters, and then in the middle we have these guys singing
Yeah, okay.
singing about their freedom. Not to say that it's
Yeah.
not a lovely song in its own right, but you kind of know what I mean there.
Yeah,
so
for
yeah,
sure.
pretty simple one, but
Very
had
nice,
some
yeah.
very cool kind of pieces there. Those harmonies are great. And then for those of you on YouTube, we are actually going to do a hard cut here because we're going to try something different for Schuyler Sisters that hopefully will have less issues. So we will be right back. All right, we worked on it. We figured out technological things, and we're just gonna stick with this service and do our best with it. And we're just gonna not rewind very often at all. It's just gonna be pauses to discuss. And if there's anything we want to rewind and talk about, maybe we can try to find it at the end of the video.
Yeah.
But we will not do it in the midst. That was Story of Tonight. Any final thoughts? I know it was a pretty short song, but any final thoughts before we
Yeah.
do this?
Pretty short, nice,
Cool.
nice showing of unity. But other than that, nah.
Freedom. America.
Yes,
All right.
America.
Time for Schuyler Sisters. Here we go.
There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the poor. They pull up in their carriages and gawk at the students in the common just to watch them talk. Take Philip Schuyler, the man is loaded. Uh-oh, but little does he know that his daughters, Peggy, Angelica, Eliza, sneak into the city just to watch other guys. It work.
Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy.
The Schuyler Sisters.
Angelica, Eliza. Daddy said.
So, the Schuyler Sisters.
Okay.
What
Schuyler
a fun,
Sisters.
totally different from the last song start there, huh? It was like,
I am
go ahead.
dude. I am instantly like full on Heathers. Right here. Like I'm currently watching. Sorry. Yeah, I'm currently watching Heathers on my channel. Yeah, it seems like the same trio dynamic, but there's one here. Peggy seems like to be like the lawful one. Like, oh, daddy said be home and something. She does not want to be there. It seems like she's being dragged along.
True.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, and even like kind of it's like the Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy.
Yeah,
Like she's just like, and I'm also here, I guess. Yeah, and I like the way that they had like. It's cool how they kind of have Burr continue to kind of be that sort of almost narrative voice. Like at the beginning, he kind of starts the whole thing as like a pseudo narrator, despite also being a character. And so he
Yeah.
pops out here, and now he's like, "All right, let me tell you what's about to happen." And now we introduce the sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a continuous thing.
So far,
Like okay. So far.
To be home by sundown.
Daddy doesn't need to know.
Daddy said not to go downtown.
Like I said, you're free to go. But look around, the revolution's happening in New York.
New York. It's bad enough Daddy wants to go to war.
I love the sort of backing vocals there. They bring in that like do work. Like it's very like. The way that like is like da like it like builds up and then just
Yeah.
hits that final thing one more time is kind of a repetitive thing in this song that you'll catch, and I really like it.
Yeah. What were the names again? Of the three sisters?
Angelica, Eliza,
Yeah.
and Peggy.
Eliza, as
yes.
in Elizabeth.
That's a really good question. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, no. Never mind. Yes, I'm so sorry. Dumb brain. I had... For those of you, I mentioned this in the Patreon intro. I should probably mention this in this one too, because I'm a very transparent content creator about like mental health and things like that. I'm actually on new ADD medication, like only as of about 3 days. So I'm my brain is still adjusting to new chemicals. I think I'm very optimistic about its effect in the long run, but I'm also just a little bit suffering through these first couple of days. So the fact that it took me that long to remember that, yes, Elizabeth Schuyler is her full name in
Which
future.
is Hamilton's wife, right?
Is it? I
I
thought you didn't know American
vaguely-
history.
Well, no, but I remembered. Well, the thing I'm really is because I remember some of the founding fathers, like their families and stuff.
gotcha.
But it was from a Timmy Turner episode about Mount Rushmore and stuff like that. Yeah, Farewell Paris, yeah. Like random knowledge, right? But I also vaguely remember that isn't she the one that said I loved him in the intro?
Good question.
I think. Yeah. Shakespeare, bro.
All right, here we go.
People shouting in the square.
It's bad enough there'll be violence on our shore.
New ideas in the air. Look around, look around.
And not to pause so fast immediately afterwards, but I just love the difference in ideologies, like immediately shown there. It's like Peggy's very like trepidatious about the war. It's like, oh, like this,
Yeah.
that. And then you've got Angelica, who's very like new ideas. Look around, look at what's happening.
Yeah.
But then Eliza's interesting because she's like people shouting in the square. Like she's excited by what's happening.
Yeah.
But in a different way than, even though Angelica and Eliza are both excited about what's happening, it's almost like Eliza's excited for just the hustle and bustle and just, the
Yeah,
excitement of what's
for some
happening.
noise.
Whereas Angelica's actually there for like the revolution, the politics
The
of it.
revolution.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried because if it seems to me right now that Peggy is against this and says it's already bad enough that there's like that's not good, because if Eliza eventually marries or gets with Hamilton, that's a really dangerous connection to have someone who is so close to someone who is such an important figure in the revolution being sisters to someone who's so against it, you know?
That's a good point. That is a really good point. Yeah. Okay. I like that perspective.
Angelica, remind me what we're looking for.
She's looking for me.
Eliza, I'm looking for a mind at work. I'm looking for a mind at work. I'm looking for a mind at work. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Isn't that fun?
Dude,
Oh, I
yeah,
wish we could go
Eric
back and
Burgess.
listen to that, this cursed website. But that just like, whoa, 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 with all of
Nice.
everyone coming in on the harmonies and then just landing on that work. So fun.
So many woes so far. in
yeah,
this, musical.
this is a
lot
very,
of woes.
very woe-heavy musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Just making sure.
No, I want to ask, and I really hope this does not sound offensive. These characters, because I don't know they're like historically like what they look like historically.
There you go.
So-
Yep, this
so
question. Fair enough.
Yeah, because like I assume if we're back then we're after the Civil War, right?
No.
Is this after before? So we're way before the Civil War. Okay, yeah, but I'm sorry because I'm so at sorry, well, you're gonna have to blur that. I'm so bad at stuff like that. So it's just like if this is before the whole Abe Lincoln and North South and stuff
Hey,
like that.
hey guys, do you think the American Civil War happened before or after the birth of America?
Yeah. It's gonna be wet Hades all over again, bro. Like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Of course not. Okay, well there
So
you go.
this is the American Revolutionary War, which is the founding
Yeah.
of America. So this is like
of
basically
course.
anything you know of U.S. history was after
Mm.
this, because this is the start of the country.
So and again, because what I'm asking is because that obviously some of these actors or actresses are African American, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if this is before slavery was abolished,
It is
Were
completely
they-
race-blind casting.
okay,
Completely
okay,
100%
because-
race-blind casting. When I saw this live, we actually had a black Hamilton and a white Burr. And it was fascinating.
Well, yeah.
And I
Gotcha.
was like, as I walked in, like they both walked out, and I was like, that's backwards. That's the opposite.
could-
but
yeah,
it's
'cause-
cool because
yeah.
it's not like because when this first came out, obviously, I would even argue that more of the main cast of this is non-white than white.
Yeah.
And so people were thinking that would be more common as more and more shows happened, but it really is very race-blind casting. Like, I've seen
Yeah.
some like bootleg recordings just on YouTube and things like that
Slime tutorials.
that are primarily, I wouldn't say primarily, but like over 50% white cast.
okay.
But then I've also seen some, and so it's very, everyone is going to be completely different. There is no limitation to historical accuracy when it comes
Gotcha.
to skin color
Yeah.
with the casting.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, like, because I'm under the philosophy that whoever like whoever fits the role best, no matter gender,
Yes,
race, whatever, should
100%.
get it. Like, so that's great. And I was also wondering because if this was like, if they actually cast based on the original, like the source material of who these people were, I was gonna wonder what happened for a guy like Aaron Burr who could be such a high tier professor at a very respected college, and then they go back into slavery, and then
Yes.
like it's
No,
very
it
up
was
and down.
all
Gotcha.
all that, all race
Yeah,
blind.
it's
But that's a
me being
very
dumb
good and
European.
important question for this cast.
Gotcha.
Excuse me.
There's nothing like summer in the city. Someone in a rush next to someone looking pretty. Excuse me, miss, I know it's not funny, but your perfume smells like your daddy's got money. While you slumming in the city in your fancy heels, you searching for an urchin who can give you ideals.
Where you disgust me.
So you've discussed me. I'm a trust fund, baby. You can trust me.
Oh my god. Burr, you disgust me. So you've discussed me. My god. And
Very
then
fun
trust-
lyric. Oh, yeah. All of it's really, really good there. And I love the way it transitions from
Yeah.
narration to diegetic. He walks in
Yeah.
like, not like someone in a rush next to someone looking pretty. And if you notice, we can't go back, but he switches between looking at the audience. He walks out and he goes,
Yeah.
someone in a rush next to someone looking pretty. Excuse me, miss. And he turns from the audience to Angelica.
Yeah.
Which is really cool there.
It's nice. It's a nice it's nice that because in most stories and stuff, we need to have someone who either completely breaks the fourth wall or someone who is just so like incredibly dumb. Like, for example, if we talk Fairly Odd Parents, we have Cosmo, right?
Yes.
So we have someone who has to have everything like really basically explained, but it's not because the character necessarily like there needs to be some dumb comic
You're
relief
saying
character.
there
It's
has
because
to be
we
some
can-
way for the audience to be
Yeah,
explained
exactly.
things. That's a
Yeah,
really good point. And yeah,
exactly.
Burr does that
Yeah.
really well here. The couple bits where things aren't self-explanatory, Burr fills that role really, really well.
Thomas Paine. He's British, isn't he, or was?
I think
Is that
so.
a British,
Yeah,
or yeah.
yeah. To my knowledge.
Yeah.
Just as a real quick check with lots of pauses, 1650.
Yeah, 1650. They just said 1651.
Okay, you're a
one
tiny bit ahead, but that's okay. All right.
I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. So men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I will compel him to include women in the sequel. Right!
Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now.
History is happening in Manhattan, and we just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. In the greatest city in the world. Look at Common Sense by Thomas.
All right. Before we get to that sort of big finale where everything comes together, so yeah, that whole and I hope this isn't like insulting, like assuming you know so little or anything like that. But do you know the we hold these truths to be self-evident? Like, do you know what that is in reference to?
I'm gonna guess that has had to do with the 10 Amendments or whatever they're called.
Not
No?
quite, because
Okay.
keep in mind, actually, this will probably be really helpful
Declaration
for you
of
to know.
Independence?
Exactly, this will be helpful for you to know the timeline of, because the Constitution and therefore the the Bill of Rights, the amendments, can't
Yeah.
happen until the country is independent.
Oh,
So at this
yeah.
point, they haven't even started writing the Constitution yet because they are still not independent. But at
Yeah,
this point in the story, no, you're good, truly. It makes sense once you hear it, but if you haven't, if it's not your history, it's nothing against you. Don't feel bad. But so at this point, the Declaration of Independence has been written, and so that's her whole thing of hey, when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'm going to compel him to include women in the sequel. That all men are created equal. I love that.
Gotcha.
And then I won't
Yeah.
say what line, but it's just so cool how well weaved things are, because there was literally just maybe 5 seconds of song here where one of the songs or one of the characters just sang their main chorus from a song 7 songs in the future.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
Everything's so connected.
Dude, I'm gonna forget that by the time we get there, so you need to remind me,
I
just
will.
like with remember them.
Yes.
I love that when they said when I meet Thomas Jefferson, they all went
Yeah,
like,
not
whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love, and it shows her
Historic slay.
confidence because it's not if, it's when. She's not saying
When,
like, oh,
yeah.
if I happen to come across Thomas Jefferson, I'll give him peace of mind. It's like, no, when I meet that man, when I meet one of the most important political figures in the world right now, this is what I'm going to say to him. I love Angelica Schuyler
Yeah.
so much.
Slay.
All right, and now let's get to this big finale.
Schuyler Sisters. We're looking for a mind at work.
I know, right? She's so talented.
Dude.
Oh,
Dude,
dude, I
gives
feel
me,
so bad. What's that
She
actress's
reminds
name?
me of a singer. She reminds me of a singer. She reminds me of a singer. What's the? So you have like, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, Jennifer Hudson. That's her name. Jennifer Hudson.
I
She
can see
really
that.
Reminds me of Jennifer. Yeah. There's a guy in a red coat and like a captain's hat in the back that's really catching my eye right now. He does not look like the rest of these. I think no, that's Aaron Burr. There's a guy. He was up there. I think on your frame. But he was he was all the way. He was standing on the top right. Yeah. I guess by your reaction, that's a character that probably has some sort of significance. I would assume that he wouldn't
He'll be
dressed
there
like
soon.
that on the stage. Yeah. Gotcha. Captain Hook or something.
But yeah,
Sorry.
and then that just like her like super riff up there is
Yeah.
so good. And I want to go back.
That
and
riff
we
there.
can't. Oh, honestly, it's probably a good thing because this recording is already like 30 minutes of footage. Maybe it's a good thing we can't go back for Hamilton. We can always go back
Yeah.
later.
But isn't it great? Like just the patrons get so much unedited Casper Mortius.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, you guys
100%.
are missing out if you're watching on YouTube. 100%.
That's true. All right, let's keep it going.
City in the greatest city in the world.
And there it is. All right. We mentioned before how if there was anything we really wanted to go back for, we might do it at the end.
Yeah.
Were there any parts you really wanted to hear again or highlight, or are you pretty good with that?
No, I think I'm fine because
Okay,
there's
cool.
too much. There's
Yes.
too much to break down.
No, there's
Yeah, I
so
told you,
much, and that's what's going to be nice about I just noticed Angelica's face on mine.
see
that's
that.
that's an unpleasant pause for her. But yeah, so you have now met the
Nice.
Schuyler Sisters.
The Schuyler Sisters that harmonize on riff and run so.
Oh my
very
gosh, they're
well.
so
My
good.
goodness.
Oh, my green. I didn't
it up.
notice that my green screen was off kilter. Oh well. It's just gonna be the patrons there. Speaking of which, thank you to my patrons for making videos like this possible. I appreciate you all so very much, and I hope you enjoy the extra content you get from us in our intros and outros every time. You guys are absolutely wonderful. And for those of you who are here for the premiere, hop right on over to Casper's channel for the next two songs, Farmer Refuted and You'll Be Back. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Wait. Is it You'll Be Back? Yeah, I think. Anyways,
Terminator.
I am so excited for Casper to react to this next song. It's so good. So good. Okay. Again, thank you guys so very much for watching. Appreciate you a lot. Thanks again to the patrons. Get over to Casper's channel. And as always, gals, blokes, and all other folks, I will see you in the next video. Bye.